that night, one night here, I sat on the veranda here for about 3 to 4 hours and watching them. And this is true. Everything I'm telling you is on the gospel truth. I was sitting on the veranda here and I could see them working underneath that house again. And it was a lot of things going on. And this thing was running backwards and forwards. And it was a lot of things going on under that house that night. And I thought, there's still nobody underneath there. Who in the bloody hell is underneath their house again? Anyway, the next minute, it was coming on to daylight. It was around about 3:30 in the morning. And the next minute, there was this golden thing. It was so pretty. It was just this beautiful, must have been like a golden light that made it look like real gold. You know, it was really pretty. And the next minute, I thought to myself, cars were starting to go to work and noise and things were starting to happen. So that would have been around about 4:00 in the morning. And I don't know how I got the guts enough to do this, but I did do it. I got onto the veranda, onto the landing, and I said, whoever's over there, you're going to get caught if you don't get out of there, you know, soon, or whoever or wherever you are, you're definitely not human. But my voice, all of a sudden, those two trees that you can see there, this thing slashed out in a box, just went woof out, and this man, only his head was between the two trees, talking to me, and it said, what did it say to me? What do you think you're looking at? Or something like that it was. And then all of a sudden, because I just said, well, you know, you're going to be caught if you don't get out of there. And meaning, well, if it was a robber or a thieves or whatever, or something from outer space, but I knew different. But I was telling them to get out of there, or I, you know, would do something about it. Anyway, they went. Just those boxes went torn, and the next minute, that was lit up underneath the house like you've never seen. Even stronger than all the lights in the world, I think. It was so lit up, and the next minute was gone. I never seen them. I don't know what they did or where they went, but I never ever seen them again. But that's twice in that house I had seen that, and it's scary. Oh my God, it was so scary, so spooky. And I think I had a visit here the other night. Something was whirling around here on the veranda around about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, between 9 and 10. And I peeped through the curtain because now I lock everything up and I don't go downstairs anymore. Oh, that's the other one. I went downstairs one night at 1 o'clock in the morning, and this bloody thing, like a blanket, like a single bed blanket, as broad as a single bed blanket. I was down putting the hose on the plants down the back because we had a lot of dry weather at that time and not need a lot of rain. And I was putting it on down there, and something said to me, look up. And I looked up, and here comes this red light was coming down on top of me. I ran for my life underneath the house. I screamed and belled, and I had my daughter living here at the time. She was asleep in the flat downstairs, and I'm banging on the door, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Because I was buggered, I had to get up the steps, and I was too scared to do that. I wanted to get under the house. Anyway, by the time my daughter woke up and sort of come out and opened the door to let me in, she seen it too, but it was going up over the trees. It was, and as it came sliding along the ground, just near the greenhouse I've got here, between the house and the greenhouse, it went ting, 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 and it went up all over those trees. See those trees out there? Those trees were that high, and it went up over there, and it was having trouble getting up over them to pick up the pace. And yeah, I could have been knocked out, rolled on that thing, and God only knows I would have left the earth and universe, I suppose. They wouldn't have brought me back. Or there was an old lady they brought back. And I reckon that's how they took her too. Did you hear about that?
No.
You didn't hear about that? There was an elderly lady in Brisbane. She was in the yard, probably doing what I was doing that night. And they came and took her, and she was missing for 3 weeks. They couldn't find her. The family was just beside themselves. And they found 3 weeks, that was 3 weeks into the 4th week, they brought her back and let her go. And she told them what happened. And the government won't tell anybody. Yeah.
Wow, thanks for sharing. That's a whole lot of a real experience you got there. Did you ever ask the aliens what they were doing under your house?
Under mine, they were under the neighbours behind me, right behind me. They were under the
Okay. Okay,
I said,
that.
what were they doing there? Yes, I did say that. What are you doing there? Because there was nobody living there, you know, for a long, long time.
And did they answer?
Yes, those wish things come out and spoke to me. Yeah, yeah. And a head of a man who had a cowboy hat on, like a hat on.
Like it's from Rockhampton.
Yeah, yes, you know, like, but it was, I could only see half of him, not full of him.
And so as soon as you asked what they were doing, they got spooked and they left. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting, huh? And you ever see these beings in your dreams at all?
No, never in my dreams. I don't dream. I used to dream a lot when I was a child, but and when I started getting into my 18, 19, 20, I didn't dream so much anymore.
Yeah, that happens as you become kind of stuck in this collective consciousness here, and you kind of let go of your adventurous, childlike ways. But like I'm sure Olga has shared with you the new you and how that can help you remember your dreams and have fun on the real side. So yeah, but thanks for sharing. That's really cool. Did you have anything else you wanted to say, or what you recognized from all these experiences, or what you're doing now because of them, or anything like that?
Well, you've only just given it to me the last couple of days, but I have been using that you that Olga told me to do, and but like it's just you don't know when they're going to come. You don't know when, but I see them in the sky. I see them quite a bit here in the sky. The mountain, because see, I'm looking at a high mountain, and they get into that mountain over there. And I see them over there. I think I've never been able to talk to anybody about all this. I had them living in my house, up in my roof. One night I come home and found this horrible little funny thing in my house, and it went up into my air conditioner and blew breeze air. And it stayed there for 2 years before I could get rid of it. I took out everything to get rid of it, It used to tell me, because the metal in there, it used to hit the metal trying to get out, because the breeze air goes downstairs and the breeze air goes down this metal tube, and it would wake me up hitting it, you know, trying to get out. And so I took them all out. I tried everything. I left the doors open. I left the windows. I took the things out of the windows for it to get out, but it wouldn't leave me. It lived with me for 2 years.
Oh, you bumped the mute button there, Olga.
It used to go, this bloody thing used to come down from the vent with a light. This night I got up for a drink of water, woke up, I don't know what woke me up, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I thought my stove was on fire. Honestly, I thought my stove was on fire. It was blazing red, and I looked up, and that bloody thing was feeding off the power out of my stove, out of my clock. That's why it was bright red. The whole thing was bright red. And you tell me, you know, where is everybody saying where's their power going? But that thing was feeding off the power. That's why it lived so long up there, moving around. It was getting recharged. It had lights, had 2 lights on it, red, like a wiry red neck, and that would have been about, 5 inches, 7 inches long. It had 2 of them attached to its body, small body. It was very big. How it got into my house was one night here, I was going to bingo, and I sat out here and had a cup of coffee because it was too early to go, and I didn't have my bloody door closed. My sliding door was open. It snuck past me and got into my house. When bingo was over, I came home. I opened my front door. I came to my second door in the lounge room, and here's this thing throwing all lights around my house, just going around and around and around. And this redneck thing with this tiny little machine was doing this in my house. Oh, I didn't know whether to enter, run, scream, run, what to do. And I thought, I'm not going to run. This is my house. What are you doing in here? I found there was a broom out on the veranda, and I got the broom and I held it in my hand, and it didn't seem to want to go for me, but it was busy doing other things around my walls, and it ran down the hallway, got into the spare room, and got up into the air conditioner, into the breeze air conditioner. That's where it stayed for 2 years, and that was 2011 when all that happened. It stayed there for 2 years. I took everything out. It used to creep down with a tiny little yellow light over my bed. And I'd see it and I'd think, you bloody little shit, you're still here. How am I going to get rid of you? You know? But one night I took the breeze air ones out of the ones downstairs. They must have been out for, I just left them out for, I think it was about 3 months. And I was washing down there, and I came through to take some washing out to the line. And next minute, this thing flew past me, flew straight over my head and went to freedom. I've never seen it again. After living with me for 2 years. It must have been taking photos of the house. So I don't know. It must have been taking photos, probably, thank God it wasn't in the bathroom, because it didn't have one in there. Thank God. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Having a shower, nothing on, and this thing looking at you that you don't even know what it is. Oh, God. It was really spooky. It was really, really spooky, I tell you. Oh, that was another event. Oh, I could tell you more. More interested in the airport. I'm not far from the airport, by the way. I'm only a few kilometres away from the airport. And I noticed then that the airport was quite something that they were pretty keen on learning about, to see what was going on out at the airport. The UFOs were out there. I could see them in the sky. I can still see them in the sky out at the airport. And then one friend of mine, well, she's passed away now. She was a cleaner, and she had her daughter with her, and her daughter used to work with her out cleaning the airport. And she told me a story about her and her daughter had left the airport at 3 o'clock in the morning to come home, and the UFO followed her car from the airport and went to flash into her car. The daughter screamed. She got such a big shock. She put her foot down and went for a bloody life all the way home, and never stopped, jumped out of the car and ran upstairs and made sure everything was locked up. That was one of the things that she's seen. She said she's seen it, and it was heading for her car, and her daughter was very young, and she was screaming, and she said, that thing's going to hit us, that thing's heading for us, that thing's going for us. Anyway, she put her foot down and she got home, and it turned around and went back, she said. The daughter said, Mum, it's gone. I don't know, it could be on top of us. It could be, but I can't see it, you know. And anyway, so that she said to me, this dear soul said to me, Hazel, that is one experience I'll never forget. It was that night when they were finished work out there at the airport. And I have noticed that the airport is quite a few of them around the airport out there also. They're sort of looking for, I don't know what they're looking for, whether they're curious about us or what, I don't know. Many years ago, when I worked at the Leeds Club, we went to the Leeds Club. There was my husband's birthday party, and we had a group of us, and we had tea there. Now, because I worked there, this person, all upstairs was locked up at you couldn't go upstairs from the, when you're down understairs, you were not supposed to go upstairs at all. All that was shut up and locked up. Anyway, I turned around and I seen this man come down the steps. He had bended knees. He looked like a traveller, he looked like a packer. He had a pack on his back with like an army pack, you know, the armies, and he had those clothes on him. And he had, every time he come down the stairs, he sort of had these really bended knees, and he just didn't fit in with us, you know, at all. Anyway, I said to my husband, I said, that man just came down from there. I said, you seen him come down the steps, didn't you, Don? He said, yes. I said, there is no way, unless he come through the window or through the doors, there is no way that he could have came out of up there. I said, because it's all locked up. I work here and I know what happens. Anyway, he went over to the bar. He ordered a small, I kept my eyes on him. He talked to the barman. He wanted a small drink. Anyway, he ordered that. It was a beer, but it was small, but he didn't drink it. He made out he was drinking, but he didn't drink it because there wasn't anything taken out of it. And the man next to him was talking to him. Anyway, he gave me the creeps. There was something about him that just nothing would fit, you know. And anyway, he got up. He got up after talking to this man for quite some time. I didn't go over to the man to ask him what were they talking about. I should have, actually, but I didn't. and he went to the men's toilet. Ron was sitting at the end of the toilet, at the end of the table. I said to Ron, will you do me a favour? I said, I looked at my watch and it was 5 minutes, it was 10 minutes, it was 15 minutes, and that man never returned back to the bar or out of the men's toilet. So I said to him, can you do me a favour? Can you go down to the men's toilet and see, you know, that man that you seen, you know, sort of glanced at, you know, over the bar and come down the steps. Can you go down and see if he's still in the toilet, in the men's toilet? I said, because by now it's about 15 minutes. I said, and the glass was still sitting on the table next to this man. Anyway, he went down to the men's toilet. I knew there was only 2 men's private toilets, and then there was the trough. Because I worked there, I knew how everything was set up. And he came back and he said to me, Hazel, he said, there's nobody there. I said, well, where in the bloody hell did he go? Through the bloody walls or through the window? I said, there's only a tiny little window. He could never go through that. I said, and his beer's still sitting on the table. Well, I have no idea. But I've never seen him again. Never seen that man again. But he was dressed in like army clothes, like they looked new, and an army pack on his back. But he walked like a gorilla. How the gorillas walk with the bended knees, and that's, you know, that's true. He came back and he shook his head and he said, Hazel, there's nobody in there. I said, well, I haven't taken my eyes off the toilet and he hasn't come out. I said, so where did he go? I don't know, he said. I don't know. I said, no, neither do I. That's a mystery.
Wow, you guys have to have your own radio show, Olga. It's fun stuff. Lots of stories to tell there, Hazel. So, yeah, we'll see what shows up next, huh? That's cool. Thanks for sharing.